Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep.
Today's speaker, Dr. Ann Aruljyoti, and all the participants of this webinar. I would like to introduce today's speaker. Dr. Ann Aruljyoti is working as a professor in the Department of Veterinary Surgery and Radiology, Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Veterinary Education and Research, Pondicherry. She did his graduation and masters from Madras Veterinary College, Chennai, and doctorate from University Putra, Malaysia. Dr. Jyoti has academic experience of 29 years and guided 15 postgraduate students. She has also completed 2 extramural research projects funded by Department of Science and Technology, New Delhi, on use of prosthetic tubes in treatment of teat obstruction in cattle and biodegradable teat inserts protectants for surgical management of teat affections in cattle. She had also organized 2 trainings, assisted in 4, and participated in 25 training seminars, symposia, workshop. Dr. Jyoti has published about 85 articles in national and international journals and had received 24 awards for best paper presentations. She has a considerable experience in management of teat and other affections in cattle, and therefore I request Dr. Arul Jyoti Madam to deliver her webinar on surgical management of teat and other affections in cattle. Dr. Jyoti ma'am, please.
Hello.
Yeah, ma'am. All fine.
Good evening to all. I am Arul Jyoti, professor from Surgery Department, Pondicherry Veterinary College, and I'm going to share our experience with you regarding related to our teeth and other affections, what we have done in our department. Can you see the slide, sir?
No, ma'am.
Can you see the slide?
No.
I'm not able to open. Same problem in getting. Can you see? Can you see the slides?
Oh, ma'am.
No?
Kindly unshare and then reshare.
Unshare completely. Yeah,
Not-
unshared already.
Just from there, share desktop.
Share desktop.
Click on share desktop.
Okay, now.
Yes,
Yes,
now, now we can see your desktop.
We can see your desktop.
Slides?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Full screen, ma'am.
Okay, sir. My topic is surgical management of teeth and other affection in cattle. Pondicherry is concerned, we have more of Jersey cross. Our population related to buffalo is nil. Very few buffaloes are there. So most of them, those cattle are maintained by the womenhood. So they do the milking by themselves, or milkman will do the milking. So many cases they bring the animal with a teeth obstruction. It is very common. And the goal for the teeth surgery, why teeth surgery is needed and how, what is the goal? The main goal for any teeth surgery is to restore the milk flow, quality, yield with minimum risk of mastitis. You all know any teeth problem, mastitis is a major complications. This is a small anatomy basic thing for the teeth. See in this structure, you can see this is a streak canal. And this one is the teeth canal. It's a gland system, or you can say it's a teeth system. And this one is the venous ring of Rosenberg. And rosette of Fosenberg, and this is a venous ring of Fosenberg, and this is a teat wall. Whenever there is a injury, especially the mucosal layer, what will happen? This is a mucosal layer. It will get inflamed. So when the mucosal layer get inflamed, it causes a reaction, and the fibrosis can occur. So most of the time we get obstruction at the base level, that is near the venous ring of Fosenberg, and at the mid teeth level, the teeth canal, and also in the tip of the teeth. Mid teeth canal affection mainly due to faulty milking. So there are different methods of milking they follow. They follow full arm milking, stripping, and knuckling. So this mid teeth canal affection is more common when compared to other two affections. Normally, when you see an animal is brought, you can see an udder. The shape of the udder varies. In this picture, you can see it is a globular udder, and this is a goatee udder, and this one is a bowel-shaped udder, and this is a pendulous udder. Pendulous udder is prone for most injury because of the hanging nature. The teeth may get injured very easily. And teeth shapes. Teeth shape also varies. This is, you can see, it's a funnel shape, conical. This is a cylinder in shape, bottle, and pear shape. This is all normal udder and teeth. And even size of the length of the teeth also varies. We have a short teeth, an intermediate length, and this is a long teeth. Long teeth again is more prone for injury because when the animal is jumping in the fence or anything, easily it gets affected. When the animal is presented, what are the things you can examine in the teeth? You can see the color of the teeth, whether it is red or blue, any like that. And skin texture is very important. And how is the skin of the teeth? And consistency, whether it is soft, pliable, hard, edematous, that you can examine. And see any external lesion on the teeth, any petechiae, crack, ulcer, scab, abs, anything which is visible on the teeth, we have to examine. Then is a palpable internal lesion. Just touch and palpate the teeth and see any nodular leg growth or any internal lesion that can be easily assessed. And see the nature of the orifice, teeth tip. It is very important to see the teeth tip, whether it is having a normal teeth tip or any inverted teeth tip, all this. Then teeth patency. So the owner is telling it is having an obstruction. So you can assess the patency by inserting a probe. A teeth siphon can be inserted, and you can even assess the patency of the teeth. And morphometry, already we have seen the shape of the teeth, shape of the udder, and the teeth measurement, whether it's a short teeth or a short in length or longer in length. And placement of the teeth. Placement of the teeth, how the teeth is placed, whether it is abnormally placed or placed equally, that you have to note when the animal is presented to you. Other than that, you can see the milk yield per quarter can be assessed and milk flow rate. And when the milk is collected, you have to see the color, consistency, pH, and conifolia maceratis test, somatic cell count, and ABST. This all to find out what is the problem with the teeth. This is the placement of a teeth. See, in this case, the placement is so abnormal, maybe due to some problem in one teeth, other teeth, it's not equally placed. So when you take this type of picture, it gives a clear idea what is some abnormality in the placement. So the teeth is having a problem. When teeth surgery is concerned, we have to follow basic surgical principle. That is aseptic principle. Strict aseptic principle is very, very essential for a teeth surgery. And in case of teeth obstruction, please avoid with sharp instruments. Sharp instruments cause more damage to the teeth. And post-operative care is very important. After doing a surgery, the drainage of the milk is a must. So after doing the surgery, if you are not providing any drainage facility for the milk to draining, again you are doing knuckling method of milking, means again it further adverse the condition. And milking method is essential because if the animal is presented to you, the owner is telling if I'm having a teeth affection. So what is the method of milking? You have to ask whether they are going for a full-on milking or they are going for a stripping or knuckling method. So when the owner is doing this a knuckling method, you better observe the pattern, how much pressure is applying. If he's giving more pressure, it causes more damage to the teeth. All the animals will not be affected. Some animals are prone and they are very sensitive, easily they'll be affected. In that type of cases, it is better you follow full-arm milking. So history taking is very important, and you have to observe ask the owner what type of milking pattern they follow. So when teeth surgery is concerned, initially we are using a conventional method, that is the unguided teeth surgery. So we are using sharp instruments like a teeth slitter and also a teeth dilator like that. So these sharp instruments, it causes more damage to the sensitive mucosal lining of the teeth, and there will be a bleeding will be there, and it is very painful, and most of the time it end up in mastitis and again occlusion of the teeth. And normal instruments, what they use in the field, the Hudson's teeth spiral, and this is the teeth slitter, and this is the teeth scissor, teeth dilator, and the teeth knife. So when you use this type of sharp instruments, it damages the teeth mucosa very much. So blunt instruments like this tumor extractor can be used with more caution. Don't cause much damage. So when a teeth is concerned, unnecessarily introducing the instrument and manipulating will aggravate it will end up in mastitis. Next is the open teeth surgery. Open teeth surgery is a thelotomy, but it is a time-consuming one. And also, animals should be maintained in anesthesia, and it causes more tissue injury, and inflammation will be more, and infection chances are more. But the thing is, post-operative care is very, very important. Otherwise, the stenosis, occlusion of the teeth can occur. So how to overcome all this? The best method is the video assisted telescopic electroresection. This is a very efficient, good method. It's a novel and it's a minimally invasive method, and it is the best method to correct the obstruction, teeth obstruction cases. In this method, by viewing the lesion of the teeth in the monitor, you can cut and coagulate at the 70 to 90 degrees centigrade using underwater diathermy unit. So this is the best method as for without much damage to the teeth, and recovery is fast and easily it can be correct, especially mid teeth obstruction, teeth obstruction and all 100% it's successful. Whenever you do a teeth surgery, so milk should be drained out. You cannot retain the milk inside. So immediately after any injury, teeth injury or any surgery, or if you are doing removing the teeth obstruction, and in that case you cannot do milking by hand. So milk should be drained out. So you need teeth inserts. There are different type of teeth inserts are available in the market. So some of the teeth inserts, you can see the silicone implants are there, and that is natural teeth inserts. These teeth inserts, the disadvantages, they are in particular length and width only. So for a different length teeth, it will not fit. Only it will, for certain animals it will be correct, certain animals it will be short like that. So the teeth inserts are provided to provide drain the milk. So to overcome this, what we are using is the infant feeding tube. The infant feeding tube is a non-reactive material. It comes in it's very long and it is having a cap at the end. And this infant feeding tube is easily available in the market, and it will be around 25 rupees like that. Number 10 is little bigger in size. So normally we take the infant feeding tube, measure the length of the teeth. Based on that, we cut the tube and fix it. We put a stay suture. At the end of this tube, we fix a 2 ml syringe. Why we have to fix a 2 ml syringe, I'll tell you next slides. If you are not getting this infant feeding tube, what you can do is even your infusion set tube you can take, and with an adapter can be used. So if you do any surgery on the teeth, any wound, or you are not supposed to disturb the wound. Don't go for daily dressing all that. You can keep your powder iron gauze and protect the teeth with this elastic adhesive bandage or Dynafix. It is available in the market. It is around 450 rupees like that. You can use this bandage for many cases. So the advantage of this elastic adhesive bandages, it won't move, it won't slip off. Otherwise, when we initially started, we started using a micropore. It will come off very easily. When you apply micropore, it will be removed very easily. But when you use this adhesive Dynafix, it will be firm and it is adhering to the teeth and it will not be removed by the animal. If you are not able to get this Dynafix, you can go for a Fixomen. Fixomen is a better quality one, better than a micropore, but this is also very useful to apply on the teeth after dressing. We also used some teeth inserts made up of collagen and calcium alginate. After doing teeth surgery, what we have done, we have used this collagen calcium alginate with the idea that it will promote early wound healing. You know, collagen is very useful for early wound healing. Why we want to have early wound healing? To prevent mastitis. When the teeth is having a fast healing without any scar, then it is good for the animal as well as for the owner. So mastitis can be prevented. So the collagen teeth inserts also can be used. And this is a way how we fixed our animals after surgery. So we have taken this is the infant feeding tube. So you can see the cap in this. So after doing the surgery, we insert the infant feeding tube and we fix it with a stay suture at the tip. So after fixing it, you can attach the 2 ml syringe at the end, and this wound can be protected with a powder iodine gauze, and you can apply the Dynafix. So it will be there for next 6 days. Animal, it won't move. So it is very advantage to use a Dynafix for any wound on the teeth. So the 2 ml syringe will be fixed at the side. Again, so that you can see the picture clearly. The 2 ml syringe is fixed. Why we have to fix a 2 ml syringe here? Because sometimes this cap will get loosened. So this will be open and it will be exposed. So mastitis is very common. So to prevent the circuit, make the circuit full, we fix a 2 ml syringe on the side of the teeth. And don't touch the teeth. When you do any wound or any surgery, don't touch the teeth. Because again, basic principles of surgery, immobilization is very important. So you can detach the site here. So when you detach this from the 2 ml syringe, will be in the teeth only. If you detach this, milk will flow down. So whatever medication you want to give, you can give. There again, you can fix it to the 2 ml syringe. So the whole thing will be intact. And if you are not able to get all this, what you can do is, say in this case, we are applied a Dynafix and also the cap itself we are closed. Since the cap was fitting enough, so we use a cap. This is a method how we put a stay suture. After introducing infant feeding tube, you can see a stay suture. If you are not able to get the Dynafix, then leave it off, don't worry. Get a condom. Condom is available everywhere. You can apply a condom around the teeth and you can apply this type of headband. Headband is available. It's 1 rupee like that. Even for the kids and all, they'll put in the hair. It is not very tight, little loose. So after applying the condom, on the top, you can apply this type of headbands. So it's easy to, aseptic precaution is very important and you have to protect the teeth to prevent mastitis. One more diagnostic aid for the adherent teeth is the ultrasound scanning. It is a boon. Ultrasound scanning is very useful to assess the condition, disease condition or the nature of the teeth and what is the problem in the teeth. So ultrasonography of teeth and udder, we have done using a 7.5 megahertz linear probe. So this is a linear probe between 5 to 10 megahertz. This linear probe can be used. You take a tumbler, fill it with water, insert the affected teeth inside the tumbler, then you can apply some coupling gel outside the tumbler, then you can examine the teeth. So this is a normal method. When you want to have a better visualization, then what you can do is before examining the teeth, you infuse some 10 ml normal saline inside. Then you can go for scanning. This normal saline acts as a contrast and it gives a clear picture what level the obstruction is there, what are the type of obstruction, all that you can have an idea. And not only the teeth, you can scan the udder and give the prognosis, whether the udder is having the capacity to secrete milk, the ducts are functionable, all that you can give clearly by doing a simple scanning method. So in this picture, you can see it's a normal teeth. So this is a streak canal. Streak canal is very important because some cases the streak canal is very short. Then again, the infection rate is more and prone for mastitis. And here this is a teeth wall. Teeth wall. This anechoic, this black region, it indicates the presence of milk in the teeth canal. So this is a teeth canal with milk. And the small black line indicates the blood supply, that is venous system. And this is a muscular layer. And this hyperemic region, this white line, it indicates the skin of the teeth. Why we have to see this means if any injury, teeth wound, when you want to do a scanning, whether it's having a fistulous tract, then it will be very useful. So it is a simple method and easy to assess the healthy status of the teeth. This picture you can see it's a normal udder. See the black color, that is anechoic region. It's indicative of lactiferous duct mixed filled with the milk, normal milk. So this is a normal udder with milk. So this ultrasound picture you can see, when you compare to the previous picture, see the anechoic region, it's having increased echogenicity. See the cellular contents, white dots are there. It is a udder with mastitis. It's indicative of mastitis. See the lactiferous ducts and all, it's not clear. So you can say the animal, by scanning itself, ultrasound scanning itself, you can say the animal is having a mastitis. In this picture, you can see it is so the abscess. When you do a scanning, you can see a circumscribed hyperechoic region. It's a abscess, udder abscess. So when you do a scanning, if you feel it's an abscess, you can easily drain it off. Like any other abscess, you can treat. And this is a case of fibrous udder. When a normal udder, you can you can see the difference. See, there is no anechoic region. That means milk production is not there. So when you do a scanning, you can tell the owner this animal will not be corrected because already udder is fibrous. So recovery chances is not there. So it is ultrasound scanning is very useful for diagnosis of any teeth and udder affections. The common teeth affections, what we have seen in our ward, main was obstruction, teeth obstruction, wound in the teeth, fistula, congenital affections, and contracted sphincter or hard milker, and leaky teeth. That is an occlusion of the teeth orifice or imperforate teeth, and teeth tumor, and also foreign body in the teeth and udder. When you take first as a teeth obstruction, we got nearly, this is our study, 48.89% cases with the mid-teeth obstruction. So mid-teeth is more affected when compared to base tip. And some cases we get a complete occlusion, like a pencil treat, nothing can be done. So that also is there. In this picture you can see, this is a fulla milking, and the lady what she is doing is stripping, and this is knuckling. See the force the milkman is giving at the teeth. See, teeth is a very delicate structure. So always prevention is better than cure. So we can, if you feel the animal is having some pain while milking, you can very well ask the owner to go for a fulla milking. No need to force again and again and give more pressure on the teeth and damage the teeth. This knuckling method causes more damage to the animal as well as the milkman. When you ask the history, especially the milkman, when you ask them to show their hand, then you will notice. So the milkman, you can see this type of nodules. This is otherwise called milcus callus. This is a hard indurated mass is noticed on the dorsum of the thumb, and nearly 92% of the milkers are having this milcus callus. And this milcus callus, it based on number of cases they are doing milking and how many years of experience. Some people they're in the field for 15 years, their callus will be big, and thus with this they give more and more pressure, and it causes more damage for the animal. So owner education is very important. You have to educate the owner as well as the milkman when they are doing when a teat is having a problem, and they say initially obstruction will not come in one day. It takes slowly only. The milk flow will reduce. Even the time of partial obstruction, only milk flow is reduced. You can be corrected by doing physiotherapy. But once completely occluded, the problem is more. So owner education and client education is very important, especially when the milkman is having a milcus callus in his hand, in his thumb region. See the nodule, it's so big. With this, he is giving more pressure on the teeth and it's more damage. And also the appearance of his thumb also will be affected. And this is a big thing we have noticed in our area. I mean, almost all the milkman is having this milcus callus. When you come for the type of obstruction, one is a type 1, that is a focal obstruction. Here, little focal region, it is obstructed. And type 2, it is a diffuse, completely diffuse obstruction. And type 3 is the membranous obstruction. It will be a thin membrane-like structure. This is the 3 type of obstruction we have observed. And the site of obstruction. See, in this case, the tip is having an obstruction. So when the tip is having obstruction, you can see the anechoic region here. That means milk is there in the teeth. It cannot be let down because of the teeth obstruction. This is a mid-teeth obstruction. Can you see the black region above and below? That is here the obstruction is in the mid of the teeth, and milk accumulation on either side is noticed. It's a case of mid-teeth obstruction. This case is a base obstruction. So once milk is being the udder, it won't come down. So completely base will be occluded. In this case, the type of obstruction is membranous, very thin strip-like structure, and you can see the mucosa. The mucosa is very irregular. This mainly man-made because the milkman is damaging, and when one teeth is affected, if you scan the other teeth also will be having this irregular mucosa and thickening of the teeth wall. All this you can observe. This is a usage of normal saline. See, this first picture you can see when we have taken without infusing normal saline. But this scan, after infusing normal saline, you can just see the clear demarcation, the obstructive lesion can be seen. So normal saline can be used as a contrast for examining any teeth affection. Teloscopic examination of the affected teeth, it is a very, I already told you, electroresection is a very best method, and this is having a telescope, a cutting loop, and endoscope is there. Endoscope is very thin, and this thickness of the telescope is it's 4 mm only. This endoscope will be having a camera at the tip, and this cutting loop is very delicate, and it's having a trocar and a cannula and light cable. It's a very expensive equipment, but very sensitive and very useful in the teeth cases. So in case of teloreceptoscopy, it is better to do it under anesthesia. We normally give xylazine at the dose rate of 0.1 milligram per kg body weight intravenously, make the animal to lie down on the lateral recumbency under aseptic precaution. We go for a 2% lignocaine hydrochloride solution as a ring block. Some people, they want to do surgery in the standing posture, especially when a small wound is there. You want to suture the wound. So the animal is kicking. In that case, what you can do is, if it is 350 to 400 kg body weight, you can give 0.1 to 0.2 ml xylazine IV. So when you give this 0.2 ml xylazine IV, animal will stand quietly. Then you can go for a ring block and do a minor surgery, especially suturing, a small wound, or even if you want to remove the obstruction. If the animal is jumping here and there, that can be done. But pregnant animal, you should be very careful. You cannot give xylazine. That before doing any surgical procedure, ask the owner whether the animal is pregnant or not. So this is the animal and lateral recumbency. A ring block is given, and we protect the teeth with drape the teeth. After draping, clean the teeth in the aseptic condition. Introduce the trocar and cannula. After inserting the trocar and cannula, retain the cannula intact and insert the telescope. And this picture shows how to fix a telescope. It's having attaching this fiber optic light cable to a telescope. In this area, there is 3 attachments will be there. One is for the light, other one is for the underwater cutting electrocautery. The third one is for glazing. So for cutting and coagulation, this is very useful. And this picture shows how you have to fix the instrument. And the telescope can be fixed, and then the cutting loop will be fixed, and the whole assembly will be 4 mm in dia. So after introducing into the telescope into the teeth, you can examine the teeth and on the monitor, and based on the site of obstruction, you can go for cutting and coagulation. Then the milk flow can be, you can remove the obstruction, and you can get the. So when you examine a normal teeth, this is how it looks. See, you can see the vascularization, flow of milk. This is a normal teeth lumen when you view through the telereceptoscope. When teeth is having an obstruction, in this picture you can see this hyperemic fibrous mass occluding the lumen. And here you can see the fibrous obstruction at the base of the teeth. See, this fibrous tissue mainly because more damage to the mucous membrane of the teeth and inflammatory reaction, and at one point became very hard and completely occlude the teeth. So in this case, you can see the base obstruction, and here this is a scanning picture, and this is after electroresection. You can see the patency. When you again examine, you can see the patency in the teeth. So in case of base level obstruction, we are able to relieve up to 60 to 70% only. 100% we cannot relieve. And base obstruction is very difficult to treat when compared to other mid and tip. So in this picture, it is a mid-teeth obstruction. See the nature of the obstruction. It is fibrous in nature, and we have removed almost nearly 80 to 90%. And the patency, this sonogram, the ultrasound picture shows the patency, teeth patency. This is a tip obstruction, and you can see this is after treatment, and you can see the patency in the tip. Tip recurrence is not that common, but base obstruction we used to get a few recurrent cases are there. So normally teeth patency, see, you can see the white color, the milk flow. This is mainly after the telereceptoscope. This is the picture you can see in that. So the patency was created by telereceptoscope. And the flow of milk. And this is a video picture, how you visualize the teeth. And you can see the red line, all this vascularization, blood supply to the teeth. And this white color, that is a milk flow in that. And the teeth, presence of milk, and small spots. It's a small pedicle bleeding in the teeth, and occlusion also you can see. And normally this telereceptoscope, we go for cutting and coagulation. And every time you have to remove the loop and clean it up. Again, you have to do it. And at high degree, cut and coagulate. And the advantage of this is you visualize the obstructive mass and can do it. The disadvantage, even small alteration, even the alteration in the current supply, or if the animal is shaking also, the loop will be affected, the equipment will be damaged. So the equipment is very expensive. It is nearly 25 lakhs, and maintaining the equipment. See this charring, the charred material, you can see the black color, the charred. So that can be flushed out using that glycine. We are using glycine. Glycine is used to flush the content after resection. So the main disadvantage with this telereceptoscope is it is a very expensive equipment, and it's having a very sensitive camera. Even a mild alteration in thing, the camera, we cannot visualize through the camera. The camera will be damaged. And you need advanced theater facilities, and you need a surgical table. Field level, it is very difficult to do. Only in colleges they can do this. And also you need a trained person, and the maintenance costs also more, and you cannot take all this to the field level. And so field veterinarians, it is very difficult. For college, they can use a stellar receptoscope. It is very useful. And we have collected some of the obstructive mass. Normally it ranges from, when we do resection, the mass was between 1 mm to 3 mm in size. So we have done some HP, also histopathological examination. Few cases we have seen with the inflammatory cells, necrotic debris with inflammatory cells. And the teeth obstruction, where we have seen a keratinization is more. See in the picture, second picture, you can see keratinization. This is in the tip obstruction. And area of calcification adjoining to the, adjacent to the lactiferous duct. This is noticed in the base obstruction. So whenever the material collected from the base, we have done a thing. In this case, slide, you can see a excessive collagen deposit. See, if you are not having any telereceptoscope, it is so expensive. You can try with a high resolution otoscope. So a high resolution otoscope will be available 25,000, 30,000, even in the net also it's there, Amazon like that. But it should have a very good resolution. That also you can try to visualize the obstructive mass in the teeth. The dia should be 4 mm to up to 5 mm you can use. Beyond that you cannot use, because the lumen is very narrow in the teeth. Or any otoscope if you are having, and you can use to examine the teeth. So far we have seen the full obstruction. Now we are going to see the partial obstruction. Partial obstruction means milk flow will be there. You can see there is a mass on either side. See the color, black color, that is presence of milk here. So milk flow will be there. Already there is an inflammatory reaction on the either side. Obstruction is there, but it is not complete. And this partial obstruction, milk flow will be there, but animal it won't have a normal flow. So what the milkman will do, he will give more and more pressure and try to bring the milk out with knuckling. So it causes more and more damage. For that, this partial obstruction, what we are using is an ultrasound therapy. Ultrasound, this machine is only 45 to 50,000 like that. It will be available almost in all the hospitals and even colleges. Even at the field level, you can get this ultrasound machine. It is very useful, because it improves the blood circulation in the local area, and also it accelerates early proliferative stage of repair, and it stimulates fibroblasts, and also to secrete more collagen, and also for protein synthesis. It is very useful for any wound healing. If you have an extensive wound and you have given antibiotic for 5 days or 6 days, after that you are not able to give. So if you give an ultrasound therapy at the peri-wound area, and it helps a lot, and healing will be very good. So ultrasound is it will be very useful if you have equipment with you, and for as a physiotherapy unit. In ultrasound, we follow the phonophoresis. Phonophoresis is nothing but, along with the ultrasound coupling gel, if you add some drug also, using therapeutic ultrasound, drive a drug through the skin, which is relatively safe, painless, and easy manner to structure, which is lying down and somewhat deep into the body. So what we'll do is, along with the coupling gel, if you put some pain, ointment, pain relieving ointment, and you apply on that, it helps for deep penetration into the body. So phonophorosis is very useful, especially teeth with partial obstruction. Ultrasound of two types, one is for diagnosis, the other one is therapeutic. This is a therapeutic one. You can see this is where the piezoelectric crystals are there. So in here you can apply some gel, a coupling gel you can apply. Along with that you can apply any ointment with relieves the pain. There's a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory that can be used. So 1 megahertz frequency ultrasound we are using, and we use 2 watts per centimeter square, and we use at least 5 to 10 minutes around the obstructive region, around the teeth. And we used to give at least minimum 5 to 6 application, and we get a very good result. So for this ultraphonophorosis, you can use Intas. The Maxwell ointment can be used because they say it's fastest relief to relieve the pain will be relieved, and it is very useful for any painful inflammatory condition. So you can do with the coupling gel on the top, you can apply this ointment also, and slowly you can apply, give the massage in a slow manner, at least 5 to 10 minutes around the teeth in the inflamed area. Along with that, you can go for a Seracine bolus also can be given. So better if a partial obstruction is there, though better not to insert any tube inside and aggravate the condition. So as such, for as much as possible, if you do externally with ultrasound, the healing will be, the patency improves a lot. So this is a case where there is a partial obstruction, and after 4 application, you can see the patency. See the patency, you can see the milk, the anechoic region in the teeth. So ultrasound is very, very useful in partial teeth obstruction. And whenever an animal is presented, you can see the teeth end shape. Some animal will be having a pointed teeth, and some will be having a round, some will have a flat and concave end. Why we have to examine this is, sometimes you can see the, in this case a normal ultrasound picture, you can see the normal streak canal. But in this case, you see it is dilated. So it is a leaky teeth. You can see a leaky teeth, a dribbling of milk. Normally, leaky teeth, what we do is, at the tip, we used to take a tubercle needle, a povidone iodine, at point, around the tip, we used to infuse. So that it causes inflammatory swelling, and the occlusion will be there. And this is a imperforate teeth. There is no opening in the teeth itself. Congenitally it can occur, it can be acquired also. So you have to, examination of teeth tip is very important, because this, you can see this is a normal teeth, and in this teeth you can see it is an inverted teeth tip. So inverted teeth tip means the streak canal, when you do a scanning, see the length of the streak canal, it is very short. So this, because of the short length of the streak canal, this animal is prone for mastitis. So when you go for any selection of cow, when you see the teeth tip, if this type of teeth tip, better avoid, because this is a genetic one, and it's not use. It's better not to use this type of animal for breeding purpose, because this is a prone for mastitis, and because of the short streak canal, it's a congenital affection. And other teeth tip affections is, you can see the keratinization, ulcer. Sometimes by birth itself, you will have an occlusion of teeth tip. Sometimes ulceration can occur afterwards, after any injury or anything. And this is where you can see the callus formation in the tip. Other congenital anomaly, what we have noticed is, you can see the rudimentary teeth. And here in this case, we have seen 7 teeth. 7 teeth are there. And on that, nearly 5 teeth are functional and 2 teeth are non-functional. And one more case, we have seen 6 teeth. Out of that, 6 teeth are functional. So this type of congenital anomaly also, this is extra rudimentary teeth. Rudimentary is too small. This is an extra teeth are there. Sometimes it will be functional, sometimes it won't be there. Sometimes it will be interfering with milking also. In that case, you have to remove the teeth surgically. So this ultrasound scanning picture of the teeth. This is a teeth, you can say a conjoined teeth. This is a non-functional conjoined teeth. It is not functional. This ultrasound picture of the teeth. So there is no milk production, and this teeth is normally interfering with the milking of other teeth. It's a conjoined teeth. One more condition is webbed or Siamese teeth. You can see both the opening will be there. When you do a milking, milk will come through both the opening. So it is having a common gland system, but two teeth system will be there. One this side and one this side, and so milk will coming through this. So in this type of cases, you can correct surgically. So the additional teeth canal, you can surgically you can cut open and then you can suture this. So only one teeth canal can be retained, and the web teeth otherwise Siamese teeth. So this is one more type. You can see the small projection here. Through that milk used to come. So surgical correction can be done for in case of web teeth or Siamese teeth. So when you examine, see this is you can see the teeth siphon you already introduced. So this is a side opening. This is a Siamese teeth. It's opening on the side. It is going to the gland system. So you can see the ultrasound picture also. So this is one teeth canal, and here also one more. Two on side by side you can see. So this you can enlarge this and open and completely debray. Then you can occlude the Siamese teeth canal, and do surgically you can close it. So you can do occlusion, close. When you do any teeth surgery, teeth instruments, you have to use surgical principle. Basic surgical principle is very important. Delicate handling of tissue is very important, and teeth is concerned. Other external teeth affections, what we have observed in our place, this is a wound with a maggot, the base of the teeth, and this is a scab formation, and this is an abscess, and this is a vesicle formation, and this is a dry teeth, and this condition due to photosensitization. See the nature of the skin. That's what you have to observe, the skin of the teeth and also the pliability, nature, so that you will have an idea. This is the edema in the teeth and petechiae noticed in the teeth and teeth cracks. And this picture is a congestion, and this is a gangrene formation and small vesicles in this. And this picture you can see the ulceration of the teeth. This all the cases presented to us in our ward. And this is a case, somebody threw hot water on the animal, and because of that all four teeth are affected and scarred. In this case, we have treated with collagen ointment, biomaterial. And after cleaning the teeth, we applied a collagen ointment, and we protected the teeth with a gauze, and we applied a Dynafix fixed, and all the teeth was maintained with the teeth patency using infant feeding tube. So we didn't touch the teeth. Milk was drained through the tube only. So we changed the tube once in 5 days, and we have changed the dressing also once in 5 days. Animal recovered very well. So this type of wound is there. When you do a milking, animal will not allow. For that, fixing an infant feeding tube and protecting with a Dynafix is very important, so that it helps in healing. Other type of wound, what we have seen is, in this case, a tip is lost. It is an extensive wound, and once a tip is lost, it's very difficult because of the nature. We cannot get the milk flow and occlusion. Here also loss of tip in this case, and this case is a lacerated wound on the tip, and this is avulsion wound. Completely, the tip is avulsion is noticed in the tip of the teeth. And pox, you might have seen, pox is very common, and gangrene. Once a gangrene, complete sloughing of the teeth is. And location of the teeth wound. Teeth wound may be noticed at the teeth tip. Actually, one is a wound will be external skin up to the level of muscle, you can notice. One more wound is exposing the teeth sinus. It will enter into the teeth canal, so milk will come through that, through the opening. So in case of the location of teeth wound, you can see the wound in the tip. In this case, it's a mid teeth, and here it's a base of the teeth having a wound. And this case is a full length. See, in this, the teeth canal is intact. Even though the wound is extensive, intact teeth canal, you can debraid nicely and suture, it will give a very good result. And this animal healed very well because intact, the owner took very much care, and there is no complication. The healing was very good in this case. And see the direction of the wound. So this is around the things, that is circumferential direction and vertical. This case, all four teeth are affected because animal is jumping. It was having a long teeth, so it was jumping the fence. All teeth has gone damaged, and we have done a suturing. It's also recovered well. And this is a horizontal. You can see the horizontal direction of the wound on the teeth. And wound with the teeth sinus exposed. So intact teeth sinus, where you can, the 100% result will be there. But once teeth sinus exposed, you have to take more care. So when there is a, you can see the teeth sinus, so milk will be dribbling through that. So whenever teeth sinus, any wound, normally we use 0.5% powdered iodine in normal saline, and after debraining, flushing the wound site. And instruments, we use mosquito artery forceps, iris scissor, and number 11 blade or 15. And so for suturing, we use 30 Vicryl. That is very, before and all we used to use catgut, but Vicryl is very good when compared to other suture material for suturing the teeth. 3-layer suturing normally we do. Don't use tissue Alice forceps and all in the teeth. It causes more damage. So Vicryl 30, that is 30 polygalactin, mucosal layer, muscular layer, subcut, 3-layer suturing we do. Simple continuous you can do. No need to go for any other pattern. We are comfortable with the simple continuous pattern itself. And 30 polygalactin or that is a Vicryl we are using, and it's giving a very good result. And one more thing, before we used to suture the skin with cotton or silk, but now we started using staples. Application, you can see the picture, we applied staples, and it's having a very good result because any suture material, it will have a capillary action. The infection will be, it will act as a nidus for infection, and healing can't be delayed. But in staples, it's only a metal, so that the intactness and infection rate is less, and healing also is very good. So it's easy to apply and less time consuming, and healing also, animal is well accepted by the animal, and for removal also easy when you do a staples. So nowadays we are only using staples for any wound on the teeth. We are not using any suture material. Two edges you can bring in opposition, and you can apply very easily. Regarding the staple, it is a surgical skin stapler. It is available in the market. For doctor's rate is only 350 rupees. And you can use nearly 35 pins will be there. You can use 3 to 5 cases depending upon the length of the teeth wound. And the one is why we are insisting on that is easy to apply and easy to remove also, and the healing is very good compared to suture material. So this is one more case where we applied the staples, and you can see the healing. So teeth were the wound, even the delayed wound, not only a fresh wound. Most of the time we never used to get a fresh case. We used to get a case after 3 days, 4 days, only a delayed case we used to get. In that type of cases also staples are very effective. So when you do a teeth surgery, you have to follow basic surgical principles. That is very important. Aseptic precaution, all that is very important. And 3-layer suturing with the Vicryl can be used, and skin can be closed with the staples. It gives you a very good result. This is the advantage why we are using a skin staples. It is economical, less time to apply, and it's having a very good tissue holding capacity, and very little tissue reaction, almost nil, not much reaction, and no need to do dressing every time. Once you do the stapling, apply a gauze, put a bandage, then you can leave it. You can do that. You can remove the staple after 10 days. Nothing will happen. No need to ask the owner to bring every week like that. Even after 10 days, you can open the bandage and remove the staples. So it will be very comfortable, and no need to do much dressing. Maybe you can do one dressing after a week if you want. And easy to remove, and also uncomplicated wound healing. And staples removal is very easy. Animal will not have any pain also. Next one, what we are using in this teeth work is biomaterials. Biomaterials mainly to promote early wound healings. There are different types of biomaterials are available. See this, we can have a collagen. It's a bioseal. It's a collagen particles are available. This also can be applied on any teeth wound. And this sheets, collagen sheets are available in the market. That also can be used to protect the teeth wound, so that it helps in biomaterial helps early wound healing in teeth. Collagen and gentamicin cream, that is Sotreat. It is available in the market. It is only 200 rupees. And the small wound, teeth wound, if you are not able to suture, even after suturing, just apply the collagen ointment and you can protect the teeth with the bandaging. And the small teeth wound also you can apply. This is biomaterials, easy to apply, and also nanocrystalline silver gel. This is also a biomaterial. It's available in the market. You can use on the teeth. One more thing is the PRP, autologous PRP. That is a platelet-rich plasma. And this platelet-rich plasma, no need to buy outside. You can collect blood from the animal itself, and it is also very useful in wound healing. And you collect the blood, and you can separate the plasma, and you can even activate with 10% calcium chloride, then it can be applied on the teeth wound. PRP is also very useful in any teeth wound for healing purpose. A 10 ml blood you can collect from the jugular vein in a sterile vial, which is coated with EDTA, and you have to centrifuge at 1000 RPM, at least for 10 minutes. And you have to, the straw colored plasma was aspirated. Again, you have to centrifuge, and then you can activate that using calcium chloride. That can be, it will form as a gel. Otherwise, you can use as such the platelet-rich plasma as such in a syringe. Then you can apply at the, inject at the site or apply at the teeth wound. The other case, what we have seen is this case, you can see it's a fibrosarcoma in the teeth. So this is hanging, the big mass is hanging from the teeth. So when we have done a scanning, the teeth canal is intact. Only the externally we can see the lesion. So we have want to remove it surgically. Remove the full mass. So the teeth system is exposed, teeth canal is exposed. Again, is sutured and protected with a fixomal Dynafix bandage. And this is after complete recovery. And you can even see the scanning picture. Animal is able to give a normal milk. This is histopathological changes, histopathology result for the case 40x. Next is fibropapilloma of a teeth. You can go for an auto vaccine. Auto vaccine, any papilloma, we go for an auto vaccine, and we can use even homeopathy drug. They use Tuja and other thing. Since this is so extensive, it is interfering in milking. We have gone for surgical removal. This it is on the teeth. It's not interfering into the teeth canal. So surgically we have removed the mass. So this is after removal of the mass. Then we apply the staples. Again we protected, and this is after complete healing. You have to collect the material, and auto vaccine is also very useful. But since the problem in milking is there, so we have done a surgical. And this you can see the histopathology. This figure like projection of the fibroblast. And few cases when most of the owners, what they do, a milkman, if a milk is not coming, they try to push the either a cement straw or a metal probe or even neem stick into the teeth. It will get stuck there itself. So foreign body, the teeth and udder. So you can, when you do ultrasound scanning, you can see the tube, metal tube. Here also you can see the tube. So this ultrasound again helps. When you locate the foreign body, with the guiding, with the ultrasound guidance, we are able to remove the foreign body by surgical correction. By making incision, with electricity can make an incision, remove the metal, that is a metal probe, and this is a sheet they have inserted into the teeth. Remove this. This is a case where the udder, the foreign body was stuck into the udder. So by doing a scanning, we are able to locate it is in the udder. So we have made incision on the udder and removed the foreign body. Another udder affections, bovine herpes mammitis we have seen, and also complete necrosis and sloughing of the udder. And in this case, where the physiological edema, in any case of physiological edema, the udder will be hanging down, so it will rub the floor. It's better you can apply a protection bandage like this, so that you can protect the udder. And this case where completely loss of devitalization of the tissue was there. So surgically we have removed everything and applied a collagen sheet and protected the wound. Papilloma on the base of the udder we have surgically removed. Udder fistula was a sharp injury on the udder. So the milk started dribbling through the udder, the quarter. So we extended the incision and debrided the site and then a suturing. Then again staples only we used and protected. See this fixomal, that is the advantage. Anywhere it will fix. So we have applied the fixomal and it was intact and no wound dressing, nothing. After 10 days, the owner brought the animal and the staples are removed and complete healing is there. Most of the case, they present after calving. They say previous calving is okay, but now it's having an obstruction like that. So when the animal, when they want to stop milking, or you have to take a dry cow management. Ask them not to stop milking abruptly. So when they are doing milking twice, let them do once. And also let them follow full on milking, not knuckling. And ask the owner or the milkman to go for a teat dip. At least a week they can go for a teat dip, and they can give mammedium, that is Intos product, for 3 days orally. They can give just before, immediately after stopping milking. And vitamin E with selenium injection can be given once or twice. And they'll say once they stop milking, they will not give proper nutrients to the animal. So you have to educate the owner to give us nutrition to improve the immune system of the animal. So owner education is very, very important when teat udder is concerned. So dry cow management, if you do certain things, to some extent we can prevent the teeth occlusion and other complications. And teeth dip, you can use chlorhexidine 1% solution, and for a week at least, immediately after stopping milking. You want to in the pregnant animal for a the dry period. And some of the drugs you can mammidium can be given at least for 3 days in a dry cow period, and Mamisef, any teeth surgery, teeth intramammally, you can go for Mamisef. And some herbals also we are using, especially when there is a complete sloughing of the quarter. If it is usually gangrene, the whole quarter will come out and slough off. Big cavity will be formed. You cannot stuff much in that. In that case, what normally we advise the owner is, this is we say it's a cupamine. That is Acarta indica. It is there everywhere in the road, in the wasteland. This leaves, Cupamini leaf, two parts. One part is with the Sita leaf. Sita leaf, the Sitafal, that leaf you can take one part, and one part neem leaf, and one part is aloe vera. Aloe vera and this turmeric. You can mix all together, make it as a paste. This paste can be applied regularly on the wound, that cavity. Slowly it will occlude. So even small, any wound, if you apply this, it will have a very good wound healing effect. Especially Cupamini helps in wound healing. And the Sita prevents maggot and also neem. And turmeric and all having an antiseptic property. So normally we advise this herbal drug also for the owner. Thank you. I would like to thank the organizers and our association, ISVS organizer, INTAS, and also our department, my colleagues, and my college dean. And thank you for the listeners. So, is it okay?
Nitin sir, you need to unmute yourself.
Thank you, ma'am, for a lovely session on memory system, a system which has not been attended in this series of webinars by ISVS till now. Of course, we know that many of these things are not practically possible in the field scenario, but still we have a number of questions. A number of questions are therapeutic in nature actually, and a few of them are surgical oriented. So I'll put a few of them before you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
People have asked treatment protocol for cheilitis in case. I know that's a therapeutic question, but
Actually, we are more into the surgical one. Any cheilitis, there is inflammation. We have to reduce the inflammation. Normally, we go for a Seracine bolus we used to give, and they can go for your Intas product, and even ultrasound massage along with this your ointment. They can do it. Along antibiotic can be given. And what type of antibiotic they are infusing? Your Mamitol intramammary they can infuse. And mainly is management. The stylitis, teeth obstruction, all management. Owner education is very important.
Ma'am, the next question is, what is the suture material that we use for any types of memory surgeries?
Many, it's a Vicryl 30, because why I say Vicryl 30 is, if you use catgut, resorption will be very fast. Vicryl, it will stay there, and it's having a very good tissue holding capacity. And milk, it won't get degenerated very fast. So Vicryl is the best one for any. I would mention that in 2 slides also. 30 Vicryl can be used. Polygalactine 910.
Yeah, ma'am. The next question is on the ultrasound of the mammary gland. It
Yes.
says while infusing normal saline as a contrast media
Okay.
during ultrasound, what is the
Yes.
method to adopt for retaining the saline in the teeth canal?
Actually, now some people what they do is they can apply a band, small rubber band at the base of the teeth, then they infuse it. So when teeth obstruction is there, if this saline will not go up, it will stay up to the level of the obstruction. So you know the clear demarcation. So you want to retain the normal saline in the teeth itself. What you can do is you can apply a not very tight bandage, small rubber band you can apply, then you infuse the normal saline, then you can do the scanning. That can be done.
Another question is on Jafar Badi buffaloes.
Sir,
Ma'am already said
buffaloes,
that.
my
Yeah,
knowledge
ma'am.
is zero.
Yeah, ma'am already said that buffaloes are not
Because
there.
we are not seeing buffaloes, we are
Yeah.
seeing only Jersey cross and HF cross.
The next question is, madam, why are base obstructions less curable or less treatable even when we undertake extensive surgeries also?
Actually, the thing is, base, most of the base obstruction, when you ask the history, they will tell previous cow milking, it had a mastitis. During this time, they might have treated well. And during the dry cow time, what will happen? The patency will not be there, and that will go for a occlusion at the base level. So at the base level, when it's having more occlusion and more fibrosis is there, and calcification is more, we noticed because of the occlusion, calcification, and mostly it is due to previous mastitis problem. So it is very difficult. And mid-teeth means only man-made, maximum man-made. And base also, some people give pressure from the base and they used to bring the uh, thumb down. That time also it causes injury. So when the injury is already, inflammation is there, it's very difficult. That's what we say during dry cow time, when you are stopping milking, when the animal is pregnant, you better go for other drugs. I have given a protocol for that. So drip and your mannitol, orally they can give all this.
Ma'am, another question is coming from 3-4 people with an, I think, understanding that River is one of the institutes which is has been consistently doing telescopy. It says, how do you clean those instruments after their use?
It's
Kindly
very
guide.
laborious only. Laborious only. Cleaning is very. Normally we use normal saline initially to clean, then with a spirit, surgical spirit. But camera we cannot clean with the camera cleaning solution you can use, and the complete flushing with the normal saline and the water, distilled water can be used to just clean the material, and use a brush. The small loop is there. You can use a baby brush to clean the loop, because when you use cutting loop, the material will get stuck to that. So if you use a baby brush, you can clean it. Otherwise, the loop will come in your hand itself. So it's a very delicate equipment. Handling is very important.
Uh, that brings us to the end of the question answers, ma'am. I liked something which we have heard field vets saying that you can judge the efficacy of a field vet by seeing how much he drives, how much he goes forward. So what is his wrist and hand on the uh, bike, the gearing up the bike. So you see cysts on the hand of a field vet. So similarly, you talked about the users and the milkers and the crust and all that on the hands. So it was very lovely to hear such a thing. So thank you, ma'am. It
So
was
if it is
pleasure.
useful for the field vets, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
It's
To some extent, because the instruments that we have talked are not available, but some of the surgical initial techniques that you talked about are useful for a field vet. And we know that at River you effectively work for field vets and their betterment.
So
So
we
we
are
thank you.
developing some more thing for field vet to be used at the field level. We hope we'll come with that soon.
So if you want to express a little on that, most welcome. Platform is
No,
yours.
sir, it's a PG work. We'll
Okay.
let PG complete so that we can express. We want to make a roll instrument, small instrument, so that the field veterinarians can use at the field level. So,
Ma'am,
please,
PGs
sir.
are very field people are very much interested in surgical instruments, and
Yes.
that also something which is very field friendly. People look for that.
Yes, but we
So
are lacking fund. The fund is a big problem for us. If anybody is supporting with the fund, we can do some work on that.
to some extent, we can try supporting you, and
Yes, yes. Then
yeah,
we'll do it.
yeah. So anything for the betterment of the profession.
Sure, sir, sure, sure.
We thank Madam and the entire committee of ISVS. I thank Dr. Simrat Sagar, Dr. D.V. Patel, my colleagues along with me, Dr. Deepak, Dr. Devesh, and Dr. Amanjot, as well as we have Dr. Nilesh from Hisar, who has been supporting us very well for this event. I thank each one of them for this webinar series and the current today's webinar. We thank Dr. Anjoti ma'am for the entire pains that she took and for the entire deliberation that she made with for the benefit of our profession. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
We are ending the live session. Thank you for all to be there. Thanks again. We'll meet next Friday with a new topic before you for ISVS webinar. Thank you all.